Perspective.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Okay, bye.
And then next up, we've got Carol from Shoreline. Hopefully we can get her right back on.
Carol?
Hello?
Carol.
Hi, Carol, welcome.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear us?
Yeah.
What's your question, Carol?
I want to ask you, what is an atheist and what got you into that atheism? And then when you get through answering me, and I just want to plant the seed into your head, and you don't have to answer me back, but think about it all the rest of your life.
Okay. Well, I will tell you what an atheist is and why I am an atheist.
Okay.
An atheism is someone who, if you're asked the question, do you believe in a God? Someone who answers either no or I don't know is an atheist. Now, why I'm an atheist is because I don't find that there's enough evidence to support the existence of what I hear are commonly referred to as claims for gods. There's just not enough evidence for him to exist. That's really all there is. I mean, why are you an atheist, Scott?
Well, I was raised in a non-religious Jewish family where religion wasn't important, even Jewish culture wasn't that important, but I've always been a skeptic, especially, starting in high school when you start meeting people with very, very strong religious convictions, and they say things that don't really jive, and you hear more and more about these things that are just kind of way out there. As a skeptic, the claims they make are incredible, and as we like to say, incredible claims require incredible evidence, or extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So I've been sort of a skeptic all my life. I would call myself a skeptic or an atheist now because as I examine more and more claims about intelligent design / creationism, which I think are the same thing, as I see the way people are how the religious right behaves, the way they act politically, I become more and more convinced that this can't be true. There's got to be something better.
So I'll ask you, Carol, do you believe in a God, and if you do, why?
Oh, no, I didn't call on what I believe. I'm calling. I just want to ask you folks a question, and why do you folks believe that?
Okay, and you wanted to plant a seed? What was...
what I did say is I just want to find out what about atheism and why did you get into it, and then I told you that I was going to plant a seed in your head and
plant away.
Listen to me and
plant away.
Think about it.
Go ahead.
Then that's about all. I don't need no feedback from you folks. I just need to tell you this.
We'd love to hear it.
You're an atheist and you don't believe because you're not sure what's going on, and it pays for your sakes to take the Bible and read through it and find out these things. Then you'll know if you really believe. Secondly, I'm going to tell you, one day there's a man that's going to come in focus, and he's going to people like you. Those that don't believe in any God or don't believe God or whatever, there's a man that's going to come in focus, and nobody's going to have control over him. He's going to have control over you.
I know what you're... So, Carol, I know what you're talking about.
Just let me finish my deal. I don't want no feedback or argument because that's not why I called. What I was going to tell you.
This is Carol. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're gonna
find it.
Come on, guys.
Gonna meet up with.
I'm sorry, okay. Carol. We're not actually interested in you railing off with end times eschatology and telling us why that the Antichrist is going to come along and rodeo all of us atheists so we can begin the end of the world and the second coming of Christ. Yeah. We pretty much explained to you why it is that we're atheists, and it wasn't us not knowing anything, because I'm sure, ma'am, that I know the Bible better than you do. And we, as we always say here, it's cliche, but it's true. If you want your children to become atheists, give them the Bible and read it cover to cover, and then you'll explain it. So we're not interested in hearing you preaching, and we're not interested in having you recant what you believe the end of the world is going to be like and how we're contributing to it.
We're not trying to convert you either.
Right. We just want to have a conversation. So if you just want to come in and say, no, I'm not going to answer anything, that's not really what this show is about. We gave you why you're atheists. I don't even think you cared about what it is that we are the answer. We just said there's not enough evidence. If evidence were to come along that was compelling, I would believe that God exists. I probably wouldn't worship him. I mean, I think the universe is pretty screwed up as it is. So, I'm sorry, Carol. Thank you for calling. We appreciate your time. We're just not going to let you. We're not going to let you use it as a springboard to filibuster us into talking about how we're servants of the Antichrist.
Yeah, I do appreciate the call, Carol. One of the points about why we're skeptic. If I drop a pencil and it fell up instead of down, that would be a really interesting scenario. That would be an incredible thing, and I wouldn't suddenly say, well, it must have done that because God made it do it. I would want to know more about, well, why did it do it? Now, did it do it only just that one time? Can I repeat this experiment and get it to do it more than one time? If so, why is it doing this? Why is it violating what we understand to be the law of gravity, which, by the way, is a theory of gravity? But to take that sudden leap and say, well, I can't explain it, therefore God must have done it, explains exactly nothing.
Right.
And that is another one of the reasons why I find religion and theists of all stripes to be really hard to give any credibility to, because you don't require evidence. You don't have any reality checkpoints.
It's not, and for us, and maybe this is what might be confusing. And you went into this, and you were saying that it's about you were a skeptic too, and your atheism is part of your skepticism. This sort of argument from ignorance, we don't know how it happened, thus therefore, it must be this. This comes up for the people who aren't familiar with we actually have a caller. We should try to fit her in here. We've got Stella from Bellevue. Stella?
Welcome, Stella.
Hi. I just want to say, thanks God, I'm an atheist.
Can you shout amen, somebody?
I just thought you'd get a kick out of it.
That's great. So do you have any question for us, or do you just want to give us...
No, I just wanted to do that. You've got enough to talk about.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Stella. Thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the support.
I always say that, and people just look at me real weird. So,
do you have a lot of right-wing people in your life that are trying, or I shouldn't say right-wing, actually.
Yes.
Do you have a lot of Christians who are always browbeating you and all that?
Absolutely. I'm from Europe. I grew up in a 99.9% Catholic, and I learned ballet because my preacher pulled me up on my ears so high that I was always on my toes.
Well, thank you for calling in, Stella. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Well, as I was going to say, that's hilarious. I'm glad. Thanks for the levity. We appreciate it. I was going to say the skepticism part is, so we're actually not here just to talk about, as I said on the beginning of the show, that we don't think God exists or we hate him or all this sort of stuff. This is a part of a larger point about skepticism, and our concept of the separation of church and state. Oh my, we got a rapid fire. Nico from Seattle.
Welcome, Nico.
Nico. All right, you're on, Nico. Hello?
I think Nico hung up.
Yes.
What can we do for you?
I'm from Ethiopia. And I just heard your comment about, circumcision, and I just want to comment about it.
Oh, go ahead.
First of all, about the politician thing, you just discussed about, how we elect them. In my part, I'm not atheist, or I'm not, I don't have any domination of religion. I was Orthodox, when I was growing up.
Are you agnostic now?
No, I believe in God, but I'm not. Oh. I don't follow any church or any religious.
Non-denominational.
Non-denomination. Yeah.
Nico, if you could speak up a little bit, and we're pressed for time, so if you'll just continue on to your point, we can take it.
Okay. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is about the circumcision part.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that part, I agree with your company over there. What he said, it's a male domination thing, It is not a religious thing. It's not a religious at all. But it's a male domination of, to control the female. That's what it was. And before, previously in Ethiopia, they used to marry, as a young kid, as 5, 6 years old and stuff like that. And they grow up, as a kid.
Right.
The females. And that's how they control them, not, for the females, not to go to run away.
Right.
Such things. So I just want to add up, on that part. Other than that, I don't have any more.
Gotcha. No, I totally get it, and we also, as being critics of religion, we also say that the problem isn't actually just with religion or the impulse to religion. You can look at Stalin's Russia and say that Stalin didn't force a church, his religious dogma on other people. In fact, he forbade it. the problem with living in a space like Stalinist Russia is not, the problem wasn't religion, the problem was dogma. So yeah, I think I might have been a little ignorant about some parts of the world where female circumcision is practiced, that some of it may have its religious, certainly that it's rooted in tradition, and it may be for the purpose of male domination, but it is dogma. It is a practice which is done, which is enforced by authority and cannot be overruled because it is tradition, and that is dogma.
A good point of that is that Stalin, contrary to popular belief, didn't turn the nation of Russia into a bunch of atheists. Rather, he took fantastic advantage of the church and a very credulous population. That's how he got his power. That's how he achieved a cult of personality, much the same way that Kim Jong-il and his father did.
Well, actually, I lived in Cuba for about 6 years in the past, and they turned it into being atheist country, most likely.
Right.
Although they were Catholics, previously they were Catholics, but.
Okay, Nico, I'm sorry, we're really short on time right now.
You bet.
Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate your perspective.
You bet. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Well, that was us. We literally have machine gun bullet callers at the end of the show. This has been great. So I think we've only got a couple minutes here, but I think the point that I really wanted to get to, which was, we say it at the top of the show that we're about skepticism, and skeptical towards the God claim. Yes, we're atheists. That's why we're here. But, if someone were to say to me, oh, well, the reason why, you always see those traffic signs and the stop signs, and they always have those bullet holes in them. It's not because of crazy drunk rednecks. It's because aliens like to come down and take target practice on there.
Yeah.
It's the same. The reflex to believe stuff like we're going to need to read the credits out. So we are about to end the show here, and we apologize. What's that? Oh, yes. You want to meet us at the show at Mandarin Gate. That's at Aurora and 100th. And we're going to have to give the shout out to the crew here because our VT5 system is down. So it's goodbye thank you so much, Scott, for coming on and bearing through this craziness. Our director today was the indomitable Cameron Fuller, and backed up by our amazing technical director, Sam Mulvey. Thank you guys so much for doing it. We know you've had to work in a tight spot. Floor director, Mike Gillis, Brent Bartlett is our sound engineer, and of course, as always, Bob Seidensticker, who is our general go-to guy for just about everything. Call screener Becky Friedman, and then lastly, of course, Scott Leopold. Thank you so much for doing it. And I suppose we are out. Are we? We're not sure. We'll keep going until
By the way, I'm just
Scan.
as skeptical toward atheists who say there is no God as people.
Right. Oh, yes. We should mention that we also have a voicemail. If you try to call us from 5 minutes from now, no one's going to pick up the phone. So the voicemail is 206-420-0997. You can call us, leave us a message. All the producers will get it, and we might even use it as a topic in the show. We're going to keep going until Scan shuts us down. So this has been by far the hairiest episode we've had so far. Okay, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Don't be dogmatic.
Bye.
Take care.